I'm Anthony Nguyen. Join us as we change the narrative around aged care, one story at a time. Welcome back to the Pioneers in Aged Care podcast. Here we have Lachlan Henderson, founder and CEO at Hopstep. Thank you, Lachlan.
Mate, thanks for having me.
No worries at all. And I think we first connected, I think we just had a chat at the ACPA at the time.
Yeah, over in Adelaide.
Yeah. And it was a whirlwind, names and faces everywhere, but you did reach out, and I'm glad you did, because I saw someone make a post about Hopstep, and I thought, holy crap. That's pretty cool what you're doing. So before I let you introduce the audience to what Hopstep is, I want to say thank you to the episode sponsors. The sponsor for this episode is Keen Care, and they're an app that streamlines everything from scheduling and client management to billing, and helps with detailed, accurate progress notes. So yes, tell us about Hopstep.
Yeah, certainly. So Hopstep essentially is a marketplace that's connecting aged care organisations direct with aged care workers. So we wanted to look at how recruitment is done within the sector. How can we make it more quicker, more instantaneous, and most importantly, cost effective as well. So basically build out a marketplace that's automatically connecting aged care providers with aged care workers. Almost a hybrid between, think of LinkedIn and I hate to say it,
Tinder,
but a bit of a dating app, a bit of a dating app for aged care, but not what you think. So, for example, I'm a nurse. I live in Berwick. I only want to work 5, 10, or 15 k's from home. Only match me with nurse roles that are within my radius that meet my requirements. Then they come up on the app, and they just swipe right to apply. Yeah. So it's instant. It's more tailored for candidates that are looking for work, and a lot quicker and more cost effective for aged care providers.
I love it because everyone has ideas, and it's not about the idea, it's also about the execution and the balls to chase the dream, because from the idea, there's a whole heap of obstacles in the way that a lot of people just be like, they just give up. But so Hopstep, typically the recruitment process, either internal or external, huge fee. There's a huge gap right now that you're fulfilling where they can go internal in conjunction with Hopstep, or at least the next step, they'll try internal and then they use Hopstep, and that would save them so much before they reach out to a recruitment agency.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and a lot of our clients do it concurrently, so internal and using Hopstep. Look, we came at this whole idea came about. I reckon 3.5 years ago. So it took about 12 months to kick around the idea. How would it work? What would it look like? And then we kind of came to this concept. And then my business partner and I, who we're not tech, he's got a great operational understanding of aged care. I've got it from the recruitment point of view. We're like, oh shit, what do we do? How do we build this? So I had a friend, she's a bit of a tech genius, so I picked up the phone to Andy and said, would you be interested in coming in to help us build this out? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. So we've now got some tech expertise within the founding group, which is needed. But as coming back to our clients using this concurrently, that we want them to be we want to be there to support them. So how can we help them top up their pools? So how can they pull all the candidates, the workers that are meeting the criteria for roles, put them into their ATS, their HR system, to help their internal teams better recruit as well. So it's not just instant in terms of matching, or getting applications through. It's also helping organisations to talent pool.
Interesting. So it's not just a separate app in itself. You can onboard candidates from your Hopstep platform into their database.
Yeah. So we're connecting. So we're going through a mass integration process at the moment with a lot of the leading ATS and HR systems, which is a separate process in itself. But what we knew for adoption to happen is it needs to be clean and integrated. So rather than having people, especially your large organisations that have such bulk recruitment needs, rather than having to use two different platforms, we're integrating with their ATS systems so they can be accessing Hopstep, so uploading roles to Hopstep, receiving applications all through their ATS, so not even having to log into the platform if that integration is there. So it just becomes a lot smoother, and then candidate applications become easily accessible to the clients, the providers as well.
Talk me through the candidate experience. So you're a candidate, someone's referred Hopstep, you download the app. I'm guessing you put your name and details in there, you log into whatever, and then you have to upload your CV, compliance docs.
Yeah, so at the moment you download the app. So it's a mobile first app at the moment. We are in the midst of building out a web-based platform for candidates to use as well. But you go through, fill out your details. You can then build out your profile, your history. So you can either use that as your resume, similar to LinkedIn, or you can drop in your resume. Once you then go through your preferences, so the type of role you're looking for, your qualifications, location that you want to work, hourly rate or annual salary. Once you fill out that information, you then basically press save, and then you're automatically matched with every single role that fits that criteria. So if you're a nurse, you're not seeing PCA roles, or if you're a PCA, you're not seeing nurse roles, or if you're a chef, you're only seeing the hospitality roles. So it's very, very tailored to what they're seeing, and then the roles come up, and then you basically, your application process is just swiping right. So it's really, really simple.
That's really cool. Is it you upload photos, videos?
Yeah, you can upload a photo of yourself as well. So that's there. And looking with, you also have percentages. So it depends how much your profile is built out. You get a percentage of how much your profile is completed. So there's a little bit of gamification in there to try and get them to complete that profile as much as possible. Because what we know is the response to applications is a lot higher once their profile is completed.
What about on the client side? What does that process look like?
So again, depends whether the integration with their ATS is there or not. If it's not there, it's basically they log into their portal, which is web-based portal, upload their role, and then they get, so there's reverse matching. So they automatically see who has matched to the role even before candidates have applied. So especially for some nurse roles, your clinical manager roles, your facility manager roles, where speed is really, really important, they have the ability through the app to reach out to them to say, hey, you've matched with us. We're really interested in having a conversation with you. So they have the ability to target candidates before they've even applied. Otherwise, they'll see their applications come through and drop in. If it's integrated with their ATS, it's very smooth. So they don't even have to use our platform at all. It's all managed through their own HR or ATS system, so that just jobs come up, applications come straight in.
So it's been 12 months now?
So 12 months, March, just over 12 months, March last year.
Can we talk numbers? Do you have like how many have been hired, or how many clients you've got?
Yeah, so we've got 480 locations that are using us at the moment, and that's a mixture between residential aged care, home care, and then some community care. And we've also got other providers like Generation Care that provide physio-allied health services to a lot of aged care organisations as well. So we've got those guys on there. And it's a mixture of from clinical roles to care roles to admin, hospitality, allied health. So any role essentially that exists within aged care, you can find on the platform. I think we've just cracked over 30,000 matches and about 15,000, close to 15,000 direct applications.
When you say matches,
matches. Just because a candidate matches doesn't mean they'll necessarily apply for that role.
Right.
But that's how many matches that we've already generated, and that's escalating rapidly on a week by week and a month by month basis.
So once they match, what's the next step?
So then they take them through their standard recruitment processes. So we're not a recruitment agency. We're a marketplace that's allowing providers to easily tap into the aged care workforce. So they then take them through their normal recruitment process.
Okay, so basically that's the handoff from
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's the marketplace.
Yeah, absolutely. So the whole thing is about help with that recruitment process, which can take time and can be very expensive, whether using certain job boards where cost per ad can be very expensive, staffing agencies. So our whole philosophy was around how can we make the experience better for candidates, and then how can we make that experience a lot better for providers as well from a timing and cost perspective.
Talking about costs, what is this costing the candidate? What is it costing the employer?
Yeah, so candidates absolutely free, and it will always be free for candidates. We want as many people on the platform looking for work as possible and supporting them in their career journey. For clients, it's as little as $100 per month per location, membership-based model. So that's
a flat fee. So they could hire 20 people through the platform.
They can post 30 jobs per month per location. We encourage them to post as many as possible because, again, you're not clogging up a job board. So if you have an RN night duty shift on a Friday and Saturday, you typically wouldn't go and spend $200 or $300 on an ad to put that up because of the cost.
Yeah.
Put it up. So put up all your specific ads, whether, again, from your admin to clinical management, care, hospitality, put them all up there. There's not an additional fee. We don't charge per job post, per interview, per hire, or per application. It's just one low fee for you to access this portal and access all these candidates.
Why have you picked aged care for this? Well, obviously, I guess your background, and it's right for aged care needs it, but I can see this being applicable to every industry.
Yeah, so look, it's funny. So we're talking with investors at the moment, and that's the common question we get asked. And for us, it was about developing a proof of concept. Our backgrounds and a lot of our contacts are within aged care. Like I've spent 19 odd years essentially recruiting in aged care and the healthcare sector. So I've got a really strong client base that I've developed over the years that have been exceptionally supportive of what we've built because they can understand once we continue to build this out in another 12 months, how powerful this is going to be for the sector and how much money it's going to save them. So for us, it was about getting the concept right, getting the tech right, and we're still constantly refining that technology. But then once we've got aged care and home care, then where else in healthcare? And we've just picked up Cabrini Hospital as a trial. And we've got another couple of hospital groups that are looking to come on board as soon as we've integrated into their system. So we see, again, this the same concept for hospitals, what we're doing for aged care and community care. It's very applicable. And then we build that out to the rest of healthcare as well. So medical, allied health practices, pharmacy, you name it, basically across all of health.
How did you get, I'd imagine one of the obstacles is sort of chicken and egg, right? You've got the platform, is working. Who do you go after first? The onboarding the clients, but then you're saying, the clients are saying, okay, where are the candidates? So you go to the candidates, and then the candidates are saying, where are the jobs?
Yeah.
How did that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're building out a two-sided marketplace, that's always the challenge. Who do you go after first? So we went to market, and we still have a free trial period for new providers that are coming on board. But we started in Victoria and then went to New South Wales and Queensland, and now slowly picking up providers in other states and job seekers in other states as well. But again, the beauty of having such close relationships with a lot of my clients, I sat down and explained what we're looking to do. I said, bear with us. We'll bring you on. We'll upload all your jobs. You will get, fair chance you'll get absolutely nothing from this in the first few months.
Yeah.
But this is what we're building. This is why we're building it. And they're like, this is great. We'll support you. So we knew if we were then to go out and spend money targeting job seekers to get them on the platform, if they were to download it and then not match with any roles, we're going to lose them very quickly.
Yeah, delete.
So we went out, picked up the clients, held their hand in uploading jobs for them. So would sometimes sit there at night uploading our clients' jobs onto the platforms, and then we went out and started targeting the job seekers to have that instant match for them, which then we knew once we've got them, once they download, they've had a relatively good experience, that we'll keep them on the platform, we'll get referrals, and that's how it started to grow and develop.
Where were you when this idea popped up?
I was sitting down with a client at the time. We were about 2 bottles deep of red wine at lunch, talking about the pain points of aged care and how do you solve the massive cost around recruitment. So one thing I've always been told is we were the necessary evil sometimes, which I'm sure you may have heard. Look, love using you, but gee, you cost too much, or would love not to use you. So it was about, okay, well, how do we change? How do we do something different in recruitment? Realistically, recruitment hasn't changed since the invention of Seek.
No.
So, but since then, nothing else has changed. So everyone's still paying cost to post a job, or hourly rate for a staffing agencies, or like my other business, your cost per recruitment hire. So it was about how do we actually reimagine what recruitment could look like using technology, and this is what we've.
What year was this?
We've settled on. So this would have been. So this, I reckon 2000, maybe mid 2022, the concept.
Okay.
And then we spent about 12 months, 6 to 12 months finalising what that would look like, a few months building out a wireframe, and then another 12 months getting the actual app developed and then in market.
What were the headaches along the way?
Oh, they're still going. Look, it's interesting. As a first-time founder in tech, so my background is not tech. It's understanding that if we want to change this little part of the app, the absolute flow and effect that has to everything else. I think also patience. I'm someone who wants to run quickly, but everything takes time. So even in terms of the adoption from clients, takes time. Onboarding them takes time. But it was really about taking the time to get the wireframe right, and then building out that what you call your minimum viable product, your MVP. So you go to market to get validation, get almost market acceptance, and then allows you to go out and get funding to then go and build out the rest of your tech stack. So it's almost like when you design a house, you want the 5 bedrooms, the pool, the tennis court. Then by the time it's built, it's a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom home, and that's kind of what you end up with your MVP. But you've still got all the other features that you're looking to build in there, which will come, but it just takes time.
In tech, there's the saying, move fast and break things.
Yeah.
And then at the other end of the spectrum is get everything right first before releasing, but you may have missed the boat by then.
Yeah.
Where do you actually balance it?
Correct. Look, I think if you're waiting for something to be 100% perfect, you'll miss the boat. So, and again, we sat down and explained to our clients, this is what we've built. This is not the bare bones, but the minimum viable product. And then we work closely with them to say, okay, what's working, what's not working? What are some of the features that you think would be terrific that we could maybe implement straight away? And some of those were on our roadmap, others weren't. Like a great feature that a couple of clients came up with was, so candidates can be restricted in terms of jobs they see. We also had a lot of clients saying, well, especially for care roles, they will get inundated for care applications, but a lot of them are they're 50 k's away, they're in suburbs where they're never going to travel, but they've still got to go through and open up the applications. So how can we restrict their radius to deliver them with local candidates as well? So and it sounds counterproductive, but how can we almost deliver them less applications, but of higher value and higher quality?
The recruiter, I no longer recruit full-time podcasting now, but it's been part of my life for half my life. The recruiter in me is scared of Hopstep. I can see that being a huge disruptor, because why wouldn't a client use?
Yeah,
There's obviously going to be a place for recruiters to build a brand, and there's nuances.
oh, absolutely. Look, and I think also for a lot of those highly specialised roles and some of those exec roles, I think there's always going to be a place for sure, and people that have got those deep relationships.
You're taking away the easy, low-hanging fruit.
But the vast majority of roles within aged care and home care are workers, so they're on the floor.
Yeah, the front line.
Yeah, so that frontline staff, it makes up a huge proportion of the population of the workforce, and a lot of time that's where the pain points are. So if we can help clients address that, provide that to them with great technology that's simple, makes things a little bit quicker for them to turn around their recruitment process and help them save money in the at the same time, we think we've got a pretty good.
It is good. It's going to be amazing for aged care because one, I don't know if you noticed, but over the last few years, every other sort of industry was struggling, so recruiters weren't doing so well. I found that they all flooded the aged care market. My clients were like, why am I getting so many phone calls now when no one wanted to help us out when we needed it? And that's why they remained loyal to me, because I was there, and like you said to yourself. But then everyone was trying to come in and cut down their rates, and it's a race to the bottom. And then race to the bottom isn't just the rates and the fees, it's race to the bottom in terms of quality of service.
Absolutely. So it's funny, and I think that goes in circles. So I think I started my recruitment career around 2005, 2006. So aged care wasn't on anyone's radar. And then when the GFC hit in 2008, people were like, what's one industry that's almost recession-proof? Well, it's healthcare and aged care. So there was a big influx. Then the rest of the economy opened up in 2009, 2010. Exactly, mining boom, especially from WA, right? And then everyone kind of forgot about healthcare and aged care. And then as soon as the market tightens, people are like, oh, okay, actually it's a big industry. But I also think people are starting to realise is that healthcare is essentially the biggest employer in the country, and by the time we hit in the next 25 years, it's going to be by far the largest employment sector. So I think more and more people are starting to take or understand how big the sector is, and which is great. But I also think it, as you said before, it is absolutely a race to the bottom, and who can you get as quickly as possible, as opposed to, hey, let's go through a proper process. And
I think you'll plug that gap, and you can't race to the bottom anymore if Hopstep is that barrier. Then the clients no longer have to accept this low quality, temporary recruiters coming in just until their own markets pick up. They can just go to Hopstep.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking, if we can help support their recruitment endeavours, and that's what we're here to do. We're not here to be a recruiter for them. We're not there to be a staffing agency for them. We're here to help them essentially better recruit, better access staff, and help to top up their own internal pools as well. So if we can help them build out their ATS and their database by using Hopstep, then fantastic. It means that, again, that internal turnaround time can be a little bit quicker. They don't have to spend money on staffing agencies, so they can reduce their staffing agency costs, and again help them save money. We think it's a pretty good model.
Within the next 6 months and within the next 12 months, not normally I ask 12 months, 24 months, but things move so fast now. What are you hoping for?
Yeah, we certainly want to continue to expand, so we need to push more out into the other states, and that's happening organically. But there's some really key parts of our tech roadmap that we're looking to build out, and we think the growth of AI is going to play a pretty incredible role within how candidates are positioned to clients, and how clients can better understand maybe the career journey of candidates. So the more data we have within Hopstep, the more we can mine and start to provide some really great feedback to the market as well, to say, well, we know on average based on profiles within Hopstep that this person should be ready to take on maybe a clinical manager role or a residential manager role. So at the moment the pools can be quite small. So how can we help them see maybe a bigger pool, and also help candidates to start to expand where their career should be going as well. So we think AI will play a big part in that. Starting to build out candidate wallets. So how can we help with that onboarding process? So to hold all their credentialing information, visas, police checks, ref checks in one spot where they can just easily drop over to a client rather than the clients having to call and follow up all that onboarding. So again, if we know the recruitment process, half of it is about finding them, interviewing them, making the offer, then the other part of the process, which can be just as long, is around following up all those compliance checks. So how can we also help that process? So we're in discussions at the moment about having those wallets built out cool. As well. So
are you AI chatbots or?
Yeah, so the other part where we'll be using AI bots is around how can we help simplify clients with their application forms as well. So all your clients that have integration with ATSs have their own application form. That's how the candidates feed back into their platform. So at the moment, candidates, doesn't matter what role they apply for, or who they're applying that role for that role through, has to go out and fill out additional application forms. So again, we're in the process now of chatting to some companies to say, okay, how can we use those bots to pull all that information to pre-populate application forms to make that process easier? Because there is data that shows that applications, whether it's might be through other job boards or through Hopstep, the application that comes out of those platforms is higher than the actual applications that clients receive because candidates don't want to have to go through and refill out forms. So that's certainly a big one that we're seeing. And then also internally for clients, how can we have inbuilt ref checks? So how can we actually help them with that ref check process as well, and feeds back into the candidate wallet. So there's some really cool things that we're looking to build out, as well as how can we then connect internationals to the platform, to providers that can facilitate sponsorship, but also with TAFEs and universities. So how can we help with the student placement as well? So if we can start to help them at the start of the life cycle of their career, then we're going to have them on board Hopstep for a long time. So at the moment, you've got aged care organisations that might have to have 5 or 6 different relationships with RTOs or TAFEs to help with those student placements. How can that process be actually managed through Hopstep? So
that's exciting.
Yeah, so we've actually got a meeting next week with one of the largest TAFEs and another large ATO to look at starting to set that process up, and then what tech do we need to be able to facilitate.
So I've got a question from the sponsor here, and this question is from John Tomczyk, the General Manager at KeenCare. KeenCare is an app that streamlines everything from communications, scheduling, and client management to billing. His question is, communication is key to any successful business. How has technology changed the way you communicate or get your message across to clients?
Yeah, great question. Look, tech and communication, I think, go hand in hand, especially when you need to have conversations at scale. If we look at candidates, for example, with Hopstep, we know everyone's bombarded by communication, right? So whether it's emails, text messages, notifications, like on a daily basis, we're swamped. So we keep the communication really simple, really clean. So whether it's our weekly emails to them that's really simple, that just says essentially how many roles they've matched with or how many roles they've applied for, or the in-app notifications. So they've registered for a particular role they're looking for, that role comes up, they'll get a notification that's on the app, which just allows them to hit the button, takes them straight to the job. If it's of interest, they swipe right and they're done within 20 seconds. So for us, it's really simple communication. And same with clients. It's how can you get your message across that's easy to understand, that's concise, but compelling. I don't think anyone these days has time to read long emails or long EDMs or text messages. So we make sure that communication to our clients, very similar to candidates, is really concise, it's informative and easy to read. But we use communication and tech for communication to enhance rather than rely upon it. I think at the end of the day, especially with our clients, good old-fashioned face-to-face where you can sit down, get to know them, get to know their business, get to know their pain points. Those conversations, it's face-to-face, whether that's in their office or online or even on the phone, we still think is really critical to developing and understanding your clients.
How many, so who's supporting you at Hopstep? Is yourself as the founder and CEO? Do you have partners? Do you have a team?
Yeah, so we've got, so there's 3 founders. There's 2 of us that actively work in it, myself and Andy. So Andy's our tech girl. We've also got our actual developers, Devika. They're out of Wollongong, a great young company who are doing some awesome things. So we've got essentially a full dev team that sits there, and then we've got some admin support as well. But at the moment, it's very much we're all hands on and running at a million miles an hour.
I love that you kept everything in Australia.
Yeah,
I mean, there's nothing wrong with outsourcing, but it's a whole minefield. Did you ever consider outsourcing?
Yeah, look, we did, but and we spoke to a lot of people within the sector about this and the pros and cons. We think to start with, having that team on the ground was really important, and we were picked up by AWS, their accelerator program as well. So they've been a phenomenal support, and they introduced us to Devika, our dev partners. But being able to sit there and have those conversations, because also you need to look at, okay, well, privacy, holding data, and where's that going to sit? So having that onshore within AWS, within their secure networks is really, really important. So that data security is really, really important for us. So that will never, ever be offshored. We think as we grow and develop and mature, we'll look to bring, we'll look to have in-house devs. And we think we'll always have that senior dev in Australia, but there might be times where we look to offshore, and there's some great companies that help do that. So Australian companies that will actually hire the tech for you and manage the overseas tech, and you're paying an Australian company, but you're getting it done maybe at a more cost-effective rate. But I think there's pros and cons. And at the moment, us in our essentially still in our startup phase, to have everything onshore has been really important for us.
You mentioned before when you came up with the idea, then you just happened to have a friend. What was the name? The other founder?
Andrea. Yeah.
Andrea.
Yeah.
She just happened to be part of your network that you can go to. Let's do this. Because for me, if I wanted to build something, I'd probably have to call you.
Yeah. It's Look, it was pretty fortuitous that I knew Andy, and she ran her own tech company, and she said, and I'd spoken to her about this idea for months and months and months, and she'd kind of always just said, hey, think about this, think about that. And then when I picked up the phone and said, hey, would you be interested if we gave you a little bit of equity? Do you want to come in and go on this journey with us? It was just, well, it wasn't any hesitation. I was like, I love it. Yeah, I'm in. But it's funny. What I have found is not just the aged care community, but also everyone in tech. We were like, okay, we're a startup. You call people and say, hey, can I get some advice? You've done what we want to do. Everyone has time.
I thought they'd hang up the phone.
No, everyone has time for you. It is amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. And I think that's a great thing for up and coming people in aged care as well, that want to create or develop a management career, is go and talk to people. There might be people within your organisation, or there might be people outside of your organisation. Go and get a mentor. Go and get someone who's done what you want to do, because the success leaves footprints, right? Mm-hmm. And you'll be surprised the amount of people that will go out of their way to help. I don't think enough people, or I think too many people are scared to ask for advice or help. If someone come to you and said, look, I want to start a podcast, you'd be flattered, yeah?
Yeah. And people have started.
Yeah.
I don't want to claim any credit for it because people get these ideas, but maybe it's one of those confirmation biases. I started noticing a lot of podcasts, maybe 18 months after mine.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, my other one was started. But it's awesome to see, because one of the issues is I started the podcast because aged care had an issue of being too humble, and because of their silence in thinking that, you know, we'll let the work speak for itself, it allowed the media to jump on and write these headlines to get clicks and sell papers, and it's always negative because that's what sells, you know, sanctions, abuse. And everything.
And COVID, especially being here in Victoria, I had some phenomenal clients that were absolutely put through the ringers by the newspapers. But what they didn't report is that majority of the people that worked in these organisations from the CEO down were working 70, 80 days straight to get through it.
Yeah, so that's exactly it. And I'd be sitting in front of the client and we'd be talking about aged care, and they'd get all fired up about it and they'd get all excited. And I'd think, can you just say that again? Let me get a camera. I'll send it to some candidates and tell them this is why they need to work in aged care. And I'm trying to get the message across that, can we please just shout a little louder about how awesome the industry is? And my tagline is, let's bring sexy back to aged care.
Yeah, mate, and I love that. And I think that's what it needs. I think there also needs to be a little bit of fun injected, and you, as I'm sure as you're out there touring the country, that you're realising there's some incredible people that work within this sector. But I think the sector in itself has been notorious in underselling themselves. If you look at from a career development point of view, so if you're a nurse, you're coming into the workforce or into your first nurse role, hospitals can be sexy, right? Your ED and what have you. That's typically where all the
that's where the Hollywood movies are made.
Yeah, exactly. So, but if you want to develop a management career, aged care is the place to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, a majority of aged care homes have got 2 clinical manager opportunities that sit there. Each home obviously has a residential manager, whereas you look at a hospital, you've got one director of nursing. Sure, you've got unit managers across the hospitals, and working in the hospital is amazing, and they've done such a great job in selling the excitement around that. But I think aged care needs to do a better job in really demonstrating how, not easily, but how quickly you can build a management career.
Yeah.
And start to earn some incredibly good money.
Yeah.
And I just think as an industry, it needs to, you spot on, sing its praises a little bit more and be a little bit more boisterous.
Yeah, to me, look, I'm not knocking hospitals in any way. I'm just trying to elevate aged care. That's it. There's no knock on it. But we need to highlight the storytelling, the relationships, the career pathways, the entrepreneurial avenues. So this is what aged care is about.
Yeah, mate, absolutely. And I think this podcast is starting to shed some light on it. So you should be very proud of what you're doing.
Thank you. Let's get into you now. Well,
sure.
Because look, being a startup, you've got your recruitment agency as well. You've got a lot of things going on for your career. Outside of that, you need to wind down. What's your jam?
Yeah, I used to play a lot of basketball.
Oh my God, how are you the third person in a row to say that? I've been waiting 2 years for someone to say I'm into basketball, because that's what.
Yeah, so I've played for, shivers giving away my age now, but about 40 odd years. So I loved it. But as you get older, I've snapped an Achilles, I've torn calf muscles, I've had knee issues. So I haven't played for a couple of years. I made a return. I reckon it's about my 15th time coming out of retirement. So that was last Wednesday. So I've said to a bunch of guys, I'll play every second or third week and ease the body back into it. But otherwise, love my basketball, love my golf, try and get to the gym most mornings. And if I'm not there for long, it's a routine. It's good for you to de-stress and good for the mental health.
Yeah.
But otherwise, look, I've got a great group of friends and a close family and 2 boys that are pretty much 19, 20.
Did they play?
Yeah, so both boys played growing up. My youngest Josh, who's 18, turning 19, he's still playing. So he's a little bit taller than me now, and
You get to play pickup against him.
can run and jump. So we've played one game together. So
Yeah.
now coming back into an open grade as opposed to playing over 35s.
Yeah.
Josh will hopefully come and have a run around and get back out.
How
there.
old was he when he beat you in his first one-on-one?
I reckon so. As soon as he got to about 16, he started to grow, and all of a sudden he could jump and out rebound me. And now look, he spends most days in the gym, so he's a lot bigger, a lot stronger.
Yeah.
So even when we play fight at home, I'm on the losing end. But it's But look, I love being a dad. They're two beautiful boys, first year uni, second year uni, and it's great to see how that relationship evolves. So they're really well behaved boys, and they don't drink, and they're not into drugs or anything like that. So it's more of almost like you become more of a mentor, and the conversations you start to have, like on the weekend, we're talking about, okay, uni, once you go overseas and study. So trying to encourage them to go overseas. So one's got a campus in Rome and Florence, and he speaks Italian, and the other one's got a campus in Vietnam. So
no way. Which one? Ho Chi Minh?
So Ho Chi Minh. So it's RMIT. He's doing game design at RMIT, and that's Noah, and Josh is doing business at Monash. So they're...
I've got contacts there not in Rome, in Vietnam.
Amazing.
Once he finishes up, if he wants to stick around there and get into some gaming companies.
Oh, that'd be phenomenal. So it's great to see them grow and develop into young men, and then life for me starts to take on different meaning, and life starts to change for me as well. So it's and I think good timing with this, because with Hopstep it's pretty full on. So where I don't have to drop the boys off to their sport or work or what have you, and they're a little bit more independent, you can really throw yourself into this, which is so I think timing's good.
Who are you guys following in the NBA?
Look, I growing up in the 90s, I was very much a Bulls man. I love watching them play now for Josh Giddey.
Yeah.
I love following the Aussies, but I've always loved San Antonio and just the style of basketball. The team basketball they played under Pop, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
I'm very excited for the Boomers. We just need Ben Simmons to demonstrate some level of his potential.
But look, we've got so many. I think there's 8 or 9 that are in the NBA at the moment. Aussies. We've got a really strong cohort in college too. Yeah. So we've got talent. Yeah, we've got talent. I think what the NBL did certainly in the 80s and early 90s, I think maybe more so throughout the mid to late 80s, where we got all those imports in and they became Australian and really fueled the talent that we had. And then they all had sons. So I mean, Kyrie Irving, he's an Australian, has said he could be open to playing for Australia. But from your Dante Exum and I mean Jonah Bolden was another, and I mean Josh Giddey, his dad was a great player with Andrew Gaze at the Tigers. So so it's been interesting to see the evolution of Australian basketball, and I think we're in a good place.
Is there anything in this podcast that any message you were hoping to get across that we haven't covered yet?
No, look, I think for me, as I said, the key thing, I'd love to see the industry sell itself a little bit more in terms of this is a place to really grow and develop a career, because there's so many opportunities. But otherwise, mate, look, hats off to you for what you're doing and the light that you're shining on the industry. It's mate, I think it's fantastic, and you're a phenomenally good host. So
thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.